What's going on, guys? And yep, you read the title right. Motorcycle specs don't matter. And the reason I say that, and if you're looking for a specific thing, if you're a drag racer looking for the highest horsepower bike you can start off with, then I guess specs matter. But if you're just an average guy, an average user, an average rider, don't look into all the specs of a motorcycle. It's kind of pointless until you ride it. This bike is a perfect example. This is my 21 BMW F900XR. I got this bike by trading a different bike. I honestly didn't know much about it, except for that it was a newer bike. It was a BMW. I read a few articles, and I'm adventurous, so I did it. Well, the articles I read said that for BMWs, as far as they go, it's slightly underpowered. The suspension is not really dialable. That sounded stupid. This is my 2021 BMW F900XR, and this is one of the reasons that specs don't matter. So that's not clickbait, I honestly believe that. A lot of times when people are looking for motorcycles, all they look at is specs. What's the highest horsepower? What has the best suspension with the most tunable features of the suspension, etc., etc. And I mean, hey, if you're Marc Marquez or a professional drag racer, or I don't even know, somebody that needs all these different features and functions 100% of the time, then hey, maybe specs are important. But if you're an everyday rider, an average rider, a person that just wants to enjoy their motorcycle, way more important than specs are getting out and riding a bike. That's what I would say. If there's any chance that you could go and ride a motorcycle before you make the decision to get one, I think that's going to be your best bet. For instance, this bike is supposedly underpowered. The suspension lacks adjustability as the bigger models and stuff, and some places even go so far as to say that out of the BMW lineup, the F900XR is the one that you don't want. Well, I got this bike in a trade. I was moving on from my Kawasaki 900RS Cafe. It was a fun bike, a lot of fun horsepower. I think it was like 140 after the tune, and it was a decent bike, but I just didn't ride it that much. I don't know why. I loved how it looked. It was fast, it was fun, but I think it was just in between enough that I didn't really put a lot of miles on it. So I was kind of open to trade or sell it. The gentleman that had this only had 1,000 miles on it. He was looking for something different. We did the trade. I did minimal research on the bike before I did the trade, because I figured it was a BMW. It's in the last few years. I got it a couple years ago, so it was only a couple years old, and I went for it. And I'm really glad I did, because this has become one of my most favorite motorcycles I've owned. And there's a lot of things that, like, if I just read the specs, I probably would have not jumped on it. So for instance, it has 105 horsepower. Now, in the world of 2025, that's basically might as well not have horsepower. My 636 has 130 horsepower, so it's not really impressive in the horsepower market. But what you got to realize is, how much horsepower do you really need, and how often are you going to be up above 100 miles an hour? I mean, now if you're a squid and all you want to do is highway drag race or something, then yeah, go look for a bike like that. But if you're a person who actually likes to ride and get around and would like usable features on a usable motorcycle, this is a great bike. So am I trying to sell you a BMW F900XR? Not at all. I'm just saying, get out and ride bikes before you make a judgment. A lot of times a certain motorcycle might have some character that just makes it an awesome pleasure to ride. Moto Guzzi's are like that. Some of the lower horsepower Moto Guzzi, I can never say it. I know you guys are already mad at me. Moto Guzzi, Pizza, Gizza, I fucking don't know. However you say it, Moto Guzzi, whatever. But like the Stones, the V7s, and all those guys, the V7 Stones and all the rest of the bikes like that. They're not horsepower monsters, but they have a character. That transverse sideways mounted V-twin gives them a certain feel to it that's just different than other bikes. So they have a lot of character. They're really fun bikes to ride. But if you looked at the specs on paper, you might not jump up and buy one. So that's pretty much all I wanted to get at today is just don't look at motorcycles on paper. That doesn't do a lot. They might be the perfect bike on paper, but when you get on it, the egros are just wrong, and it's something that you can't fix with bar risers or something like that. So keep that in mind when looking at bikes, when you look at reviews, when you look at everything like that. Listen to what the person is talking about with the motorcycle more than the specs, because specs are just specs. They're just on paper telling you what the motorcycle is capable of in regards to measurements. That does not equate to how it's going to feel, how it's going to speak to you, what it likes to do, how you like to ride it, and all the different things like that. Like, a motorcycle should have character. It should have a soul. It should be something that you look forward to riding. Hell yeah, as I'm flogging this road. So that's kind of my point, is if you just look at specs online, you don't really realize how those are going to equate to the actual performance of the motorcycle. Like again, 105 horsepower, decent amount of torque, but it hits perfectly. Like, if I want to drop the hammer and go, it's got plenty to go. Here we go. Yeah, buddy. It's not blistering fast, but it moves. It's enough to get your blood kind of get excited and get you through some twisties. Fuel mileage is great, believe it or not. It gets like 50 miles to the gallon. Hey, dears. So what's my point? Am I trying to sell you an BMW F900XR? No. What I'm trying to sell you is use your head. Just because you read a spec online or in a newspaper, just realize that that doesn't really equate to what it's going to do on the bike. There are plenty of lower horsepower motorcycles that are a blast to ride because they have character. A lot of the Moto Guzzi's are like that, or Guzzis, or however you're supposed to say it. I apologize beforehand. I know everybody attacked me because I can't say Moto Guzzi, or Guzzi, or Pizzi, or whatever the hell it is. Moto Guzzi. But a lot of those bikes with the lower horsepower, they still have a feel to them. Engine, it gives you kind of a sensation that, you know, you got it rocking back and forth. You feel like you got more horsepower than you actually do. Hey, little buddy. So again, man, if there's a chance that you're looking at a bike or something, I'd say get out there and ride one. Maybe not the one that you're buying, but one like it or something to get a feel for the character of the motorcycle. Because I think if you just go by specs alone, you're missing out. And you might look past the motorcycles that would be very much fun to ride. I have been guilty of that in the past, but not so much anymore. So that was it. I just wanted to talk about it. I saw some guys arguing over specs, and I just thought, man, that's kind of ridiculous to just throw away a whole motorcycle because on paper it doesn't seem like it's going to work. Now, don't get me wrong, sometimes it might be right. You might see a bike that has 42 horsepower, you go, I'll give it a shot. It has character, but not enough to get over the fact that it only has 40 horsepower. So obviously, you know, opinions are like buttholes. Everybody's got one. So take it for what you will. I'm just saying, give bikes a chance, man. Don't write them off just because of what you read online. So that's it. That was just a quick one. I did do a video about the wrap on this bike. Pretty impressed with it, actually. That's another thing too. When you get bored of a motorcycle, which I wasn't bored of this one, I just didn't really like the color scheme of the original wrap I had on it. I didn't order that wrap, it kind of was sent to me. So it was a little more anime than I wanted on my bike. So, you know, we put this one on it and did a little video, so watch for that coming as well. Alright, well, this bike works. Ain't nothing dumb about it, and I love it. So, alright guys, we'll see you on the next one. I'm going to go and enjoy this beautiful, almost fall evening.